No, I don't want NFL, whatever the hell this is. Look at that. I'm going to get knocked out here. I'm probably not giving it enough room. Fine, we can start over. On the whole stream of things, it's just a couple thousand. We've already booked much more than that. 3 lots. Hold this level. We'll see. Otherwise, it's OR overshoot. And then it's just a matter of, okay, I'll go with the momentum and the bias of the market, not be an idiot. Trade against the system. Hey, I got a good idea. Let's trade against the system. Oh, why does it say Friday trading? Fuck, I forget to set this shit up all the time. Okay. All right, that was good to go short. Now it did exceed the OR range. Now it's just a matter of, is it going to go to the level? And which level? Is it going to go to the 4967? I don't know if Jay Powell's still talking. If he is, he probably said something that didn't make people happy. Mama, don't let your babies grow up to be cowboys. All right, now the question is, are we looking at 275? 275, is that in play? Ooh, I wish I was bigger than 2 lots. Hey, I don't trust you. I don't trust your little bitch ass. I know about you and your little sneaky ways up in this spot. Don't act like I don't know about you. I know about you. I see you, Rex. I see your little sneaky ways. Just trying to get over on the system. All right, I am streaming on the YouTubes and the Trading Views and all the other spots, which I might, I mean, like I said, if I'm obviously shutting down the ability for people to join, there's no reason really anymore to stream. I mean, maybe YouTube just so people have historical record and it's easy to do. Whew, man, I knew I should have just like added to that trade. This 2800 is not doing it. All right, there, it hit the level. Now it's the low. So now it's just a matter of, it might keep going. Might keep going, son. Don't catch a falling knife, as they say. So let's wait for confirmation. Not a bad extra 3,200 on just 2 lots. I wish it was heavier. Didn't have conviction. Actually, I did switch. You know, when I said, hey, why don't I not be an idiot and not trade against the system? I should have added more there. Right? I don't know if everybody would agree, but hopefully everybody would agree because that's how you trade the system. Boom. Oh, we're going to have to back out a little bit. All right. We'll do a little bit of reversal here. Do a little bit of scalping. Might be early here, but we'll see. Reversed. And then we're giving a little bit of an overshoot on the low down to kind of this 040 level. Or sorry, 890 level or so. around that range, kind of in that range, kind of around those spots. We doing it, Rex. We making it, man. Your dreams are coming true. All the dreams you've ever had, Rex, they're coming true. I call it superpower trading. That's what I'm going to call it. Oh, it was early. Yeah. I knew it. 1, 2, 3. So I think we're pretty early there. It's just a matter of if it can recapture the slow momentum, then we're on. If it can't recapture the slow momentum, then it is what it is as far as it's probably going to go down to the next level, which then I'll have to look at. Boom. There we go. Only in 2 lots. Now the question is, where are we potentially going? Well, the first target would be obviously the OR. Chart 1, you've got, momentum and bias trailing down. You've got the RDA on chart 2. That's right around 470 or so. So that's kind of a target for if it does come up for maybe a continued downside. I should look at the daily, just kind of see what the daily tells us. The daily on the NQ. Okay, I shouldn't do the Z. I should add this up here. Where did that go? Sorry, I'm trying to make this so I can look at the NQ, because the NQ continuous does a better job than this. There we go. All right, so we're giving up the RDA. Our next kind of key levels, if we look at our favorite time frame, boom, right around 824. That's a big move from here. So that's our ultimate target. Maybe the RDA. Quite possibly the RDA at 6-7 deuce. Everybody agree with me, or anybody want to speak up, share their thoughts, what they see as a longer term trend on? So we got the key level on the 4-day at sorry, I gotta make it a little bit larger. Right around 856. And then the RDA right around 595. I could say the buyers got shellacked there. I'd be looking to go long right around that 849 level or so. And then definitely an overshoot of the RDA right around 566. That's kind of what I'd be looking for. If it has more downside. All right, now we got a little bit of a stair-step pattern, maybe a bottoming pattern there on chart 2. Chart 4 has a level below the low. There's a level now that's been developed. 932. So now it's a question of, do you call the bluff there? Do you think the sellers have had enough? I think the buyers are stepping up. If we look at the daily solidly gave up the RDA. We do have a minor shift over a momentum. It's obvious that those levels of is very plainly obvious, right around 714 on the daily. Couldn't have been more obvious. Really can't be more obvious. As far as, okay, there we go. Well, none of my, now it's just a matter of not getting too aggressive here, but maybe getting picked up. I'm only in 2 lots again. Come on, man. That's what happens when you actually aren't trading and you're actually talking. What does everybody think? Opening range low and maybe even the slow momentum RDA right around 0.45. What's anybody think? Anybody want to step up and say something? Anybody see the same thing I see? Solidly did an overshoot of the RDA there. And then, yeah, overshoot of the RDA, and it really sold off there. So chart 3 is maintaining its, okay, there we go. Now it's just a matter of is this going to, now I'm only in 4 lots, so I didn't want to get too aggressive. So we do have a switch over of momentum. Don't have a switch over of bias yet. That's what I'm really looking for, switch over a bias and momentum. And then we'll start thinking about these upward targets right around 0.30 and right around 0.10. Then we'll start thinking about that. We do get into that opening range low, then we got to be thinking about, okay, we're back in the opening range, it's back in play. So, and maybe this is just a sell off from the weekly open test. Just did a little minor overshoot there of the weekly open. If we actually look at the NDX, now I'm going to put all these in order. Yeah, the NDX didn't even test the weekly open, so there's still upside move. So really, you can make the argument that basically the NDX still has its job to do. I mean, right now, what did that move? I mean, the NDX. Am I delayed? I am delayed. Oh yeah, my data's delayed by 15 minutes. I guess I should renew my NASDAQ Global Index data. Okay. I turned it off, or I didn't renew it this month because I wanted to see. That's why that's why it looks weird. I wanted to see if, because I use Tradeovate, I wanted to see, did I have to pay for data to trade on trading, which would be stupid if I'd had to pay for data on TradingView when I'm already paying for data on Tradeovate to trade on TradingView. So I think I've proven now that actually you don't have to. So, but that also means though that my index data and everything else is delayed. So I'll just pay the $8 or whatever the hell it is just for the stupid index data, whatever it is. A lot of people are quiet all of a sudden. Is it just people aren't able to talk? No mics or anything?
I've got a mic. I've been a little off the grid for the last week and a half, so I'm kind of
easing
myself and just and following along.
Yeah, same here. I had no network for 2 months.
Ooh.
Beating myself into it too.
Have you seen that new stupid, or the silent walking? I don't know if you've seen that. There's basically all it is going outside and going for a walk without your cell phone or anything. And I think it's Gen Z. They made it seem like they discovered something magical. Like it's magical to, like, people haven't been doing that for eons. Just going on. I mean, it's been dangerous obviously before, but there was someone, I saw a news story on it of like this TikToker that created this new trend called silent walking, which is basically you just go for a walk with your cell phone, which is like the dumbest thing I've seen in a while. Okay, I'm long. I'm in 5 lots. I want to be larger, but I don't really trust the trade yet. We do have a switch over in momentum. We don't have a switch over in bias yet on chart 2. But we are reaching. We probably are going for at least the opening range high. So I'll be taking some off there, which would be right around this area here. Right around 1504. We do have structure as far as the 5 chart 1 a little bit. Now it's just a matter of can momentum and bias maintain on chart 2. I'll do that later. I can't do that now while I'm online. Oh, you know what? Another thing that frustrated me. So I used to have this super laser printer. I think I shared with people before that when I used to print out charts, like tons of charts every day at the end of every day and mark them up. So I had this super laser printer, like a probably business grade laser printer. And I kind of get sick of that thing. It's just, I wasn't using it anymore. So I sold it, and then we went and just got like this cheap, not cheap, but I mean relatively like $300 printer or something. It took me 45 minutes to set that stupid thing up because you just can't plug it in anymore into like a network. No, you have to go and download their stupid app. You have to go and, go through all these other stupid settings. I was, because I wanted to print something. I was like, I shouldn't have sold that other printer. I should have just kept it. Everything was great. Yeah, I was minor frustration. They're not making tech easier to use. They're making it worse. All right, so we got knocked out of that. We're in 4 lots. We're up about $3,500. So now it's just a matter of, I think what we do is we put our trailing stops, one at the fast momentum, and then the rest here, and then we will look to get out here. Now, I think one thing we have to kind of consider here is it might be going for the OR 50, and it might be going back up. So we got to be open to that as far as the longer term swing that maybe is developing here. So let's just give it a little bit more room. We're in 4 lots, up roughly 3,400. What I'm really protecting against is a deeper pullback with an overshoot down to the extreme bands here. I'd like to maximize some of this profit. Looks like it's going to continue up though. All right, there it goes. It's going to take us out of that next position. There we go. Now it's the OR 50. That's where we're looking. Let's see if it gets up there. I think if we get to the OR 50, we'll look at that as an overshoot here, and we'll probably short again. Now the daily, we'll have to look and see what the daily is looking like now. It's a pretty good rejection of the daily. We're getting back to the open, aren't we? Simone. Yeah, we're getting back to the open. Okay, getting back to the daily open. So I'll look for an overshoot of that, right where my sell is, and maybe even a little bit higher. And then I'll think about selling. Go SA. I'm telling you, trading's awesome. I was just thinking about yesterday. I was like, man, I took off like 2 or 3 weeks, didn't think about trading. And then when I came back and got serious about it, I was able to pull like 19,740 or something from the market. I'm like, what other friggin' thing could I do in the world? Like, I couldn't think of anything else. I mean, maybe robbing banks, I guess, maybe, because, you got the whole police thing and getting caught in jail and at the illegal fact and stuff. But, I'm talking legal stuff. What other legal stuff can you do that gives you that opportunity? I just was Very thankful that I found trading. Very thankful that I created the Rexdog system. So alpha is what I'd like to do going forward. I'd like to really get focused for those that want to get focused. Um, you know, where you're at. You know where you're at as far as your growth. You know where your challenges are. As Jerry Maguire said, help me, help you. So what you really need to do is I'm here. The reason for me basically cutting off just accepting new members is just because I spend time answering questions and DMs and stuff and everything else. And uh that's time. That's time I could be spent with an alpha kind of saying, okay, let's deal with this one issue that you got. Let's figure out the actual answer to dealing with this over trading or this revenge trading that you have. Here's the answer. Let's see how you progress on that. That's my goal. All right, so now it's just a matter of I do see I'll look for an overshoot of the OR 50 and then I think we'll short again. Let's look and see what we see. Let's go across the 4 charts. Chart 1, it is kind of in a changeover state. Chart 2, we don't need to do a chart 2. We've got a new candle here ready to, or in 6 minutes, we got this 60-minute candle. That's a big kind of upward and downward range. Isn't that called like a doji or whatever the heck it is? I don't even remember what the name of candles are anymore. You don't need all that stuff in your brain. So, it's recapturing momentum and bias. I think we factor that in. Do we look at this as intention? I think we could minorly look at this as intention. The buyers have really stepped up. So I think that if we go into the afternoon, we're going into, I don't know, the lunch session or a little bit tail end of the lunch session. I think what you can look at here. Oh, there we go. Knocked out. So I'd love to hear from alphas what you think maybe is the best way to help you. Could be individual or it could be just overall. What's the best way you think for growth? I'd love any ideas. I'm open to any ideas. Not saying that we'll do all of them, but I'm open to any ideas. So I'd love to hear your ideas on exactly what I just said. You can share them in the den or you can share them here too as well. So wherever you're comfortable.
I don't know if you could hear me, Rex. It's good being here with you, and it's great having you here. So, I'm not asking any questions right now because I don't want to be frivolous or waste time. I want to take the time to actually just really watch and see, back through the pattern library. I'm going to be flying tomorrow, so I'll be actually on the plane watching that instead of being here. But at some point, I have specific things, but at this particular moment, just listening and watching the 4 chart, how you're trading this right now, is really, that's tremendously useful to me personally. So,
okay.
I mean, I'm learning so much, that I'm trying to follow along sometimes because, like I said, I was away for about a week and a half. I'm back and I'm going, okay, where's he getting that level from? Can I identify that?
Yeah.
All right, what are you seeing? Can I identify that, or did I identify something else? And because nothing has jumped in a strong question zone or strong opposition, I'm like, okay, let me just be quiet and continue to listen. I am completely present, so you know it's not falling on deaf ears. It's falling on very active, participating ears.
No, I appreciate it. So no, that's
Yeah,
good. So for instance, I just reversed because it did what I said earlier, which is I'm looking for an OR 50 overshoot. Looking for it to create a level. I reversed a little too late on that, but now I'm looking to kind of add to that here on the level retest, maybe the extreme band of the fast momentum. So no, that's good to know. I mean that makes sense. Just trading alone and then correlating, I think makes sense. Okay, now it's just a matter of basically what I'm doing is I'm calling a bluff. I'm basically saying, hey, look, it's had a run 1, 2, 3, 4 candles, and I'm calling the bluff that actually it's going to continue up. I might be off a little bit, so I got to be prepared to kind of scale in, kind of right around our Rex Dog scale in kind of strategy a little bit. Now, if we get up here, then we are definitely testing the OR high, so that's something to be mindful of. But I could see it. I mean, we'll see. I have to probably take profits quick here, but that's why a majority of my positions are above the level. I'm calling the bluff that it's going to stall. I mean, really, if we look at this here in chart 4, I probably should be very mindful of this. So really what I'm doing is I'm calling the bluff on this immediate level that's been developed. So that's what I'm doing, this immediate level, because otherwise it's pretty dangerous between here and there. That's too big of a scale in between here and there and then next level. So I'll tighten up these entries because that's too high up and I have to take profits quick. So the second that I don't see this trade working out in my favor, I'll get out or I'll reverse. By the way, so far I'm up 21,549 for the day. I'll share that in the Discord. 21,549. Not a bad morning, especially for starting a little bit late. The volatility at J Powell talking really helped. So he needs to talk more often. J Powell. Let's see where we're at. Oh, why is that open? Maybe I should start using that. Well, we'll see. I'll give it one more kind of up, pick me up, and then it should not stall here. It should actually sell off and at least touch the RDA at a minimum. At a minimum. There we go. Next candle. Yeah, I don't like the way that's developing. Little asshole. Sorry, sometimes I do get a little vulgar. We're all adults here, I think. I am continuing the podcast, so I do need to get that set up. And there's going to be a minor change there too. So just getting back into the swing of things. What do we think? What do we think? What do we think? Let's look and see the internals. What do the internals tell us? Well, we got a VWAP test, a big tech. We are below the zero line. So we've been below the zero line much of the day. We don't need to look at that. I know this is a messy chart, but look, I know exactly what I'm looking at. We're below all the rolling VWAPs. So on big tech, we're below all the rolling VWAPs. Now, I might be a little upset probably that I'm fading this move here if it doesn't work out right away, because I got an opportunity here on chart 2 to enter twice on, and I'm arguing with the chart now. So, you know, I'm gonna ding my P&L a little bit, I think. But what I'm gonna do, okay, dude, you're kind of loud. See, it might stretch for the opening range high. That's what's gonna piss me off. Yeah, I'm not still on the fence about it. Yeah, come on, at least come back and take out the M9, then I'll feel a little bit better about myself. Take out the fast momentum, I'll feel a little bit better. Otherwise, keep doing what you're doing, you little asshole. Ah, I knew it. I'm gonna give up like, okay, there we go. I'm gonna now put in trailing stops and just let it take me out. Not think about it. There we go. M9 test. That's what we want to see. Break the M9, go to the M24. We want to hit the RDA. We'll take some profit. Don't hold up the M9. Don't hold up the fast momentum. Okay, there we go. It's going to hold it up, you little bastard. Little fucker. See, this have to reset this pisses me off. Having to reset the friggin' not just being able to move it like in Sierra chart is just, you know, maybe I should see if I can call Trade 08 and actually ask them to make that change. Well, no, they're with Ninja now. So, okay, there we go. Okay, it's doing what we want it to do now. It's just a matter of, do I get out at break even if it gives me that opportunity, or do I wait for an RDA test, which would be right around here? So far it's doing what I would expect on a fade, but it's still, you know, stalling, and it's still within reach of the OR high. So really what I can do, if I don't have confidence here in this next move here, we can zoom in a little bit so you can see a little bit better, is I can reduce, obviously. Fucker. Still in 6 lots, but not a great fade. Didn't move right away. Too close to the opening range high. It's still within shooting distance, so it's still reaching for that. So, you know, I think that this fade is just probably good to get out of. The question isn't going to allow me to get out of it at a decent clip. There we go. Break even. Come on, dude. Sorry, I wasn't sharing this here. Come on. I'd like to make some profit on this trade. There we go. Okay, there we go. A little bit of profit. Boom. Okay, now we're still in 4 lots. Let's see if we can make some profit. It's a little bit of a frustrating trade. A little too close. I cut that one a little bit too close. So now we got the RDA here. We're looking for an RDA overshoot. That's where we would pull some profit here, right around here. Wasn't patient enough on that fade trade there. Should have been a little bit more patient. There we go. Did what I thought it was supposed to do. Now it's just a matter of, is it going to hit the RDA, which really aligns with the OR50 before it takes me out on volatility here. Come on, dude. Sell off. Just impulse down once. Give me a decent profit around here, around these parts. Fuck you. Seriously? You're just going to sit there and stall like that? Come on. Well, all my stop losses are in profit now. So basically, I mean, I'll make a couple $100. Fuck you and your little buyers. Stupid ass buyers. Dumbass buyers. I don't know if I want to be a buyer yet, but I might. I might reverse. I won't reverse till down here. Little bitches. I should have just went long instead of playing around. What did that ding my P&L at? I don't really care, actually. I don't do that normally, so I don't know why I'm doing it now. Fucking I should have just went long there. I know I should have just done that. That's what happens when Super Fader Man comes back. Super Fader Man comes back and doesn't trade the actual right trade that's on the table. Trade against the system. That's what happens. I've got better at not trading against the system, though. Oh, wait. I've got better at not trading against the system. Or I got better at trading against... Wait. Is it a double negative? I don't know. Come on, you're going to hit the OR high, I think. Then it's just a matter of what is it going to do from there. That's the RDA check. I think these idiot buyers are back in control. I really think they're idiots because I think we're kind of like... I'd be very careful about buying in these ranges. I mean, there's a few things I'm looking at buying, but when I look across the markets, we have the whole car market to deal with. You know, no one's talking about the used car market. No one's talking about how none of the numbers make sense in the used car market or the new car market. No one's talking about that. You know, that's just as important, at least in the United States, as real estate. And no one's talking about kind of what's been happening in that market the last 3 months. Very few are, I would say. So to me, that's one of the hammers to drop. If you don't know anybody in that market, there's a couple good YouTubers out there that cover the market. Kind of go to lots, go to auctions, give you the rundown. You know, it is one of the health indicators. It's kind of like it's one of the pulse indicators of the United States. Well, a lot of markets or a lot of countries, but especially the United States because we're such a car-based country. We do like our cars. We like our trucks. And, you know, the Charger and is one of the most kind of repossessed cars right now. Because during the COVID, people that were getting the dollar bills went out there and bought these fun vehicles that they really had no business in buying. Okay, there we are on the NQ. We're at the weekly open. Since I haven't bought data, I need to buy my data, but I'm not going to do it here because I'm not going to do it on this machine because I don't do anything on this machine. I think we'll look at... I can't really see what the NDX is doing as far as not delayed. So, I mean, I would think it maybe is up by the weekly open. You know, if the chart 3 recaptures the RDA, it might be off to the races because then momentum will shift. And then we're really looking at maybe potentially a move to 221. I know I was talking about downside moves before, but now obviously things have changed. If not 221, then we'd be looking at 163. 221 and 163. Only in 2 lots, relatively small size here. Or relatively, very small size. I mean, I'd be open to hearing what people have to say on how their trading's been today. They've been able to trade the day good. I think it's been a good day to trade. Better than the last 2 days. I would say the last 2 days have been a little bit more of a frustrating trading as far as the way that the market has behaved. Still solid as far as the 4 to 6 trades, but still a frustrating day when you kind of in the midst of it. So feel free to share in the alpha journals and such. I'm only in 2 lots. Come on, man. I didn't have high confidence. I mean, we're above the opening range high. It could just sell off like it did before, but this would be a double top. So it's probably I mean, I guess you could look at it as a 1, 2, not really a triple top, but maybe a quadruple top, I guess. I don't know. I'm really looking to see whether or not this RDA is going to be recaptured here, because that, I think that will, we have all of our levels marked on chart forage. So how come they're not showing up here? One, 3, 0. Why is that stupid? Why is that? Got picked up for one more. Remove all drawings. Boom. In 3 lots. I'll look for being picked up at the RDA. I'm only trading 1 lots at a time because it's where it's at. As far as the high and the reaction areas here, it's around the RDA. On chart 3, it's at the opening range high. It's at near another level on chart 4. So the area of the chart doesn't call for high probability or high position sizing. I just don't have high confidence in that there's not going to be a reaction at one of these levels. So that's why I'm reducing my size accordingly. When I do see something or something in the charts, then confirm that. Remember the 3 questions: where is price going? How does it want? Where is price coming from? Where is it going? How does it want to get there? You know, however order you want to answer those questions. I'm drawing a blank on the right order. There we go. Now we got our levels. So now it's just I don't really like this rollover, so we got to watch this closely. I might just reduce this. I just don't like this. There, I went short. I'm watching chart 2 like a hawk as far as what's happening there. And I just don't like all there. I might be wrong here. So if I'm wrong, I'll do, I mean, that's my only, I did a reversal there. I didn't do a reversal there. I got out. So I have I can do one more reversal. We're at the weekly open again. So that's the other thing. If it's going to break through, it might just rip through the weekly open. So I do need to be mindful of that. So we'll just do a quick profit here at the RDA. Maybe go long on a reshoot of the RDA, but I'm not, you know, I might be in a no trade zone. So I might want to just get out. This might be a no trade zone. I might be just trying to force a trade just to be in a trade where my entry isn't the best. Here we go. These are invalid. Okay. Got taken out at the RDA for a little bit of profit, about 250 bucks. See if we get hit on the extreme band here. Maybe then we'll reverse. But I don't really like that reversal. I'd probably like to bid a reverse right here, down here. So what we'll do is we'll just bracket this with a trailing stop and then a position. A little bit lower than that. Okay, can't move it because it's a trailing stop loss because Tradeovate's dumb. Can't figure out how to do that. Boom. That might be an overshoot of the RDA. I might wish that I went long there. If we look at the 30 for structure, what do we see? We see it's recaptured the RDA. Momentum has shifted on the 30. I think we consider doing that. I think we consider doing that. reversed, went long. Looking at that as an overshoot of the RDA. Yeah. I think we go long. What will make this trade untenable is that if it breaks this level, it's pretty obvious. Chart 2 is your friend. I keep saying that. You need to learn how to read chart 2. Like there's a whole section in the training on how to read chart 2. There's a whole level section on or pattern section that covers reading patterns in the 4-chart setup. And what we're going to be working on next is the pieces of the puzzle video series that I'm excited about. Oh, Nikki Cag, hey, great to see you. Nick Hill, I think it is. Boom. I am very fortunate that I found trading. I hope everybody else here feels the same way. I mean, it really is a once in a lifetime. We live in an amazing time where you can actually, trading actually is available to you. The tools, relatively inexpensive. The opportunity with just a little bit of focus and effort is there for you. It really is. It's a very, very great opportunity. I'm thankful for it every single day. I guess I can look at the Bitcoin. Well, let's see. So what I'm doing is I'm willing to go for a level check. Chart 4. Chart 4 is telling us that we have a level that's pretty important right there. That's a pretty important level. So it could be double tapped, which aligns with chart 2. So it could be double tapped, but it better hold. It better friggin' hold. That's kind of the way I look at it. Now we are in the afternoon session, so we do expect maybe a little bit of range. I mean, but sometimes it does volatility. I mean, sometimes there is super vol. Super vol man shows up during these times sometimes. Okay, how do I remove these notifications? Only in 3 lots. Like to be a little bit heavier if it's going to pull off, but we'll kind of watch it. Like I said, it's the time. Right now, it's the time. Oh, there we go. It's not what I wanted to see. Don't like that look. So the question is, if it comes down to this level better hold. Still messing around with the weekly open. That's one thing. If we look at the internals on the YouTubes, you can't see this, but because I'm only showing the 4 chart, but the internals are showing that we're above the VWAP now, and we're about to take out the big tech is about to take the RDA out. So that would be a reaction zone up top. So that's something to be mindful of. It's probably why it's starting. I mean, it's starting. Those last couple of reactions are RDA touches on big tech. So if it overcomes that, then really we do have a little bit of room up. That's probably about 2%. Not that much. Can't be that much. Yeah, 0.3. Okay. A little bit of room on the upside. Just got to be patient. I don't like my entry. Terrible entry. Right in the middle of a range. Terrible entry. Terrible, terrible, terrible entry. But the RDA did hold on that last pullback on chart deuce. There it goes. It gets tested again. See, now I have, like I said, my conviction is on this level, which is, so my control really is I'm using chart 4 and chart 1 as my control, correlated obviously with the fact that we're at the RDA in chart 3, and that we're in the middle of kind of a low volatility typical time. Not always low volatility, but sometimes low volatility during this time. For those that are watching and you haven't joined Discord, you'll definitely want to join Discord. You'll see a link down below in TradingView. It says join my Discord, or on the YouTube and other places, you'll see a link in the description that says join my Discord. So that's a good place to join up, chill out with Rex the dog. He is getting a little older. He's starting to sleep a little bit more. Not as excited as he has his times. He has his moments. I took him to watch a baseball game the other day. He was pretty excited about that whole situation. So they're just, I don't know, probably a couple miles away, probably 10, 15 miles away. There's just a bunch of just baseball courts. I don't know who was playing, what was playing, or what they were doing. But they were playing baseball and softball and all types of stuff. Got an official, well, I wouldn't call it an official baseball park hot dog. Ah, there we go. See, I should have stuck with my gut and said, you know what, man? Don't wait for that. Yeah. Because here's the problem now. If it gets to the extremes, I'm going to have to double up here. Oh, shit, it's the cops. Yeah, should have just waited for that level test. Impatient. I know what I'm doing. That's what's so frustrating. I know what I'm doing, and it's just so frustrating that I'm still allowing myself to do it. At least so this might ding my P&L a little bit if I have to get out of here quick. Should have just waited for this level overshoot. I did not wait for that. I don't like it. I don't like the way it's reacting. It's slowly getting up there, so I can make a decision here. The market going to give me an opportunity to get out with just a little bit of either break even. Maybe I'll get an opportunity for that and then start over. There we go. $400. Took about an $800 loss there. $800 loss was better than a $3,000 loss, but just was a terrible. The second that it stalled out here and it kind of switched over here, I should have just reversed or got out because it wasn't doing what I was expecting. It did one thing. So now, good thing I got out, obviously, because it is overshooting. So now I wish I would have been short. Now it's a matter of, is the RDA on chart 3 that powerful? Is it that powerful? Does it got the power? Sorry, I didn't show this trade for TradingView. Still messing around with the weekly open. Now I'm going to go back in long here shortly because I'm using chart 1 as a control. This is probably where I really should have started at another level here. This next level held up. So I'm not going to get too aggressive yet. It's kind of a dumb move on my part there. Only in one lot. Boom. I didn't like that scaling. Otherwise, I probably would have maybe scaled in a little bit more. I still see the long side being the side more probable here, even though it's been rejected multiple times at the RDA. The buyers keep buying the lows. What's up, buddy? October 31st, 1938, the War of the Worlds. People took the radio broadcast, believing there had been a genuine Martian invasion in New Jersey and New York. I don't know, there's some areas in New Jersey and New York, it'd be hard to tell if there was a genuine Martian invasion. I don't know back then. I mean, I'm sure back then too. Where are we at? All right, it's this level again. Otherwise, I'm just trying to, as you would say, maybe catch a falling knife. But we're trading the levels. If this one doesn't work out, then really what am I doing? I'm arguing with the chart. I'm fading this chart. Fading chart 2. Now, if we look at chart 3, chart 1, we're momentum long, bias, long price. That's an ugly chart, chart 3. Chart, if this level holds, that's really all we're hanging our hat on right here. So all I'm hanging my hat on the control is chart 4 with some control on chart 1. So I'm really hanging my hat on this trade. But I'm also a little frustrated here that maybe I should just reverse because I don't like the way that it's maintaining momentum and bias here. And the 60-minute, 30-minute chart is not looking great. Let's look at the 15. 15 chart is holding up the RDA. Well, the VWAP. Let's look at the 5. 5, I mean, we can see the 5, obviously. I'm just churning my P&L here. I could see this as a decision point in the chart. We're about to have an half-hour close, an hour close on the market. So I could see this as a pivot point in the market. And then we'll see. Okay, now, do I trust that level? That's what it's all about. Seeing these levels hold. Overshoot of the RDA. Now we just need an overshoot of the RDA, recapture on momentum, and then Rex is on like Donkey Kong. Need to upgrade my sayings. There's got to be new sayings that the kids say. Got to see what the kids say. I refuse to spend any time on TikTok, though. I went long, by the way. I did reverse. In case you didn't catch that. I do think the trade maybe on the table is the long trade, but we'll see. Also don't have the best entry here. So, but we have the level hold up. Once again, I fell into not being predictive enough. So I need to get back to predictive using the system and the way it was designed to be predictive and not chasing trades. So that's kind of been one of my, I'd say my journal from today will be focus on being predictive. Okay, now it's just a matter of, okay, now we got an RSI painting there, which I don't really like that. I don't really like that RSI painting there on chart. I don't like that RSI painting. So it's maybe going to paint. It's right at the daily open. It's maybe going to paint. If it paints on that candle, then I can see it ripping down here. Let me take some profit here. Come on. Go one more down. Oh, it's going to notch up, isn't it? It is going to notch up. Yeah. I saw that RSI fire on chart 1. Why is my RSI not on Tradeovate? Maybe I don't have it on this chart. Come on. I can get back in at a higher clip here. Took about $500 in profit there. Okay. It seems like the buyers have lost a little bit of steam from what I'm seeing here. I could be wrong. I mean, if the RDA gets recaptured here, then, you know, I got out of that trade because I'm just not being predictive enough. And, you know, okay, next candle. Now it's just a matter of this next candle, does it come up and test the key level here around 0.65? Yeah, I don't like the fact that I've been trading bad there for about 15, 20 minutes there. I was not making the best decisions in my trading. It's my need to want to be in the trade. All right, now it's momentum and bias, so I'm kind of going with we got the opening range low up around 21, 29, $3,000. Oh, come on. I want this to be 2. Taking profits just as we go down. There we go. This might be a decent sell-off. This could be a decent sell-off. It could break that level at 954. I'm not predicting it, but it could. So I want to kind of stick with if it does. I'd like to be able to stick with it. See, when you just kind of, we'll see how this works out. But, you know, I refocused and just realized that, hey, I'm not being predictive enough. You know, the system that you trade, or if you're trading the Rex Dog system, number one, you're trading a predictive system. You're extremely fortunate that you're trading a predictive system that tells you on the chart where to look. You know, it tells you where to expect reactions. It gives you clues on what should happen there. It reverse engineers momentum and bias on multiple charts, not just time charts, but tick charts. You know, like I said, that's the 4-chart setup really is a true superpower in trading. I really, truly believe it. I'm thankful every day that I discovered, you know, I went through the deep discovery of like, let me just look at every chart that exists, see how they correlate, see how the system works on top of them, and go from there. I mean, I'm not trying to toot my own horn. I'm not trying to say that I'm the best since sliced bread. Not sell, buy, dude. Try buy, 30 lot. Nope. Looks like sell. Man, what are you doing? Oh, I didn't see this. What the fuck are you doing? 5K long, then short. Go buy now. Buy the dip. Man, what are you doing? This is on TradingView. Here's, oh, I didn't see this 2 minutes ago. What the fuck are you doing? 5K long, then short. LOL. Go buy now. Buy the dip. Dude, I sold the dip. Mean, what are you doing? Buy now. Buy, buy, buy. Bro, you're going to KFC. Not sell, buy, dude. Try buy. 30 lot. I don't think I'm going to KFC, dude. I'm up like 6,200. How much KFC can get me? Now you're just trolling. Margin call will visit you soon. Dude, I didn't just start trading today. So look at my past streams. This is light trading for me. 8 lots, that's nothing. You know, usually I'm in the 30 to 60 range. So calm down, Sparky. Once again, the system was right and I was wrong. The second that it switched over here, that's when I stopped arguing with the system. At 31 after, I was like, why should I argue with the system? You're up 1,200, dude. LOL. No, I'm not, dude. I'm up 6,600. You can't fucking read. I just, you know, I don't mind trolls, but you got to be good at trolling. You can't be a half-ass troll. You know, like if you're going to troll, be a good troll. Whatever, dude. Okay. So, well, P&L wise, I'm up. Let's see what I'm up for today. Sparky. Well, I'm back up to 24,000. So I'm only up 24,000 today. Let's see your P&L, man. Where's your stream? Where's your stream? Let's see your stream. Sorry, man. I'm just having fun with this guy. Hope you guys don't mind. Okay, now we're up 8,000. Now we're looking at this key level. Like I said, it might break this. I should have added, probably re-added to it, but we'll see. Oh, on Pornhub, you'll find my stream. I think we're in two different worlds, man. I don't have an OnlyFans. I don't know if there's, does OnlyFans allow dogs? I mean, that's kind of a weird question. That doesn't sound right. I know they do feet and stuff, which I still don't get the feet fetish. I'll never get that. But if you're into it, hey, you're into it. Yeah, I should have been heavier. I should have went much heavier because I saw it. So now it's just a matter of, is it going to take out the 4952 level? That's the question. The question too is, am I going to be able to stay in volatility? Is it going to come up and test the actual opening range low? If it does, hopefully it stays below it, won't get knocked out in volatility. I'm going to go to KFC. I haven't been to KFC in a while. You know, there's Popeyes, there's KFC. Well, you can't put Chick-fil-A in there because it's really different. Chick-fil-A doesn't even sell like chicken. It's just chicken strips and chicken sandwiches. There's just a lot of chicken places now that I think about it. Cane's. I like Cane's better than Chick-fil-A. I will say that. If you give me a choice, Chick-fil-A or Cane's, I'll go to Cane's. Popeyes, you know, it depends on the Popeyes where you're at. If you're in a good spot, Popeyes can be good. But if you're in a questionable spot, Popeyes isn't that great. All right. My stops are above the slow momentum. I should add to this trade, but I'm just not. You know, I was trading a little bit bad there for a while. So 952 target zone or so. Let's see if it's going to hit that. You know, one thing I'll say about this last 20, 30 minutes that is important for alphas to keep in mind is that you need to get good at self-assessing, and you got to get really good at realistically or being in reality and self-assessing and self-assessing about what you're really doing wrong, not just saying, oh, I'm over trading. And maybe you're not over trading. Maybe it's something else. So, you know, about 10 to 12 minutes ago, I said that, hey, I'm not being predictive enough. You know, the system we trade is a predictive system. And I'm not predicting the trades enough. I'm not trading predictively enough. There is another thing that I wish I would have came up years ago, because I think which is managing the trade on the right side of the trade. You know, it sounds like such an obvious thing, but there's a lot of insight into that phrase that I wish I'm working on, kind of creating a training, like a mini training module around it. Just because actually I realize that a lot of my decisions, like reversals or anything else, or maybe when I'm I mean, sometimes you see me reverse and then I reverse again. That's very rare nowadays. I only allow myself 2 reversals. But uh, one of the things that is going into that thinking is managing the trade on the right side of the trade. And yeah, that's an obvious statement. It's like, yeah, dude, of course, if the chart and the market is long, then yeah, of course, it's going to be easier managing the trade. But see, here's the thing: actually gleaning insight from the 4 chart setup and gleaning insight from the chart and the clues from the market and reading it correctly is where the gems come into that, which is managing the trade from the right side of the trade. And going through that exercise of, am I on the right side of this trade? And that is part of the questions, the 2 questions that we have: what should and what shouldn't happen, the 3 Qs that we answer and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it is much easier to manage a trade from the right side of the trade. For the longest time, you know, I was fading the market all the time. I'm sure many people went through my phase of being super fader man. And, you know, that's managing the trade from the wrong side of the market, or that's managing the trade from the wrong side of the trade. When you're in a fade trade, inherently, you're on the wrong side of the market. So my main point that I'd like you to take away is that, do you have, especially for alphas, do you have a process, or how well are you at your process of when you are not trading well, or you're not executing trades well, that you have a reset, and then that reset properly looks at what are you actually really doing. That's one thing to put in your journal, which is, hey, there's a 15-minute period today where I just wasn't trading. I churned some P&L. I mean, I churned probably about 4,000 P&L there during that whole episode. I've made it back, but it would have been nice to keep that. But I recognize that what I was not doing is I wasn't being predictive. I was chasing trades. So I was more chasing every trade that I was doing. And that's why I said, okay, I immediately need to adjust my thinking and now be predictive. Now use the system the way it was designed to be predictive. That's what, I would implore you to actually look at yourself, look at within your own trading, within your own system and your own, the way that you operate, and say, okay, do I do that? Do I have a good gut check? And sometimes that's just good enough. For me, there were certain things that I used to do that I'd have to physically get up from the machine. I no longer really have to do that anymore. But so now it looks like it's going to stall here. It's kind of stalling right at a kind of key level of that alpha, which we look for. Now it's just a matter of, I think I'll give it a little bit of room. I'll risk some of the P&L. I'll put the stop losses above. If you're watching on the 4-chart setups that I'm streaming, I'm basically above the RDA. All my stops are above the RDA on chart 2. So, and then I'm giving it enough room to come up and test the OR low, which we're about 12 minutes into the kind of start of the afternoon session. We've got the afternoon pivot in about a half hour, just under a half hour. So we got the first pivot coming up. So I'm kind of projecting out too. What's that first pivot going to look like? I could see kind of a slow scale up to the OR and then come out, take out this level, maybe even this low, and then create a pivot down below for the first afternoon pivot. I'd ask people that are watching on YouTube or on Discord, can you see the 4-chart setup well, or do I need to increase the resolution? I can look at doing that. I'm on a 4K monitor. I mean, I could put it in another monitor too. That's high resolution. I do want to look around the market. I'd like to look around the market. So let's take a second. Go to the Rexdog ideas. Let's look quickly. We'll go to the daily and we'll look quickly at the underlying. I'll narrate what's happening for those that maybe aren't watching. Oh, I'm sorry, on YouTube, you can't see me doing this. Actually, I can do this. I can switch over I'll do that on the YouTubes. I can, I should use, actually, can I use OBS to control Discord? That's what I need to figure out. Then I can use OBS to control everything. Boom. What was I doing? Oh, yeah. I was changing my screen, man. Okay, window. NQ. Share. Okay, now I'm sharing that. I'm just going to go around the market. We're going to look around the market. We're going to make some quick decisions. Like I said, usually I'm trading 4 future tickers. Today I'm only trading the NQ, easing my way. It took about 2 or 3 weeks from trading, so now I'm just easing my way back into trading. Usually I'm trading GC, CL, ZB, and the NQ. I will start looking at other indices as well. I think we'll start looking at that. Now, can I change my window? Stream quality, change windows. I can. Okay, I'll change this on the Discords too. Okay, there, it sold off. So we're gonna go and look at, I'll probably I do need to do a Bitcoin update. Tesla gap down below the mix 200. I could say that maybe it's to the next extreme band, right around 178. That's my first look at it. These are just quick looks. Apple looks like it is going for the next zone up, which is 180.49. We do have you see it bounced off there perfectly. That is a VWAP from a lower level. So it's still above two VWAPs that are important, significant. So Apple looks like, it is a stair step down. It didn't fully close that gap. So maybe it's still trying to do that. Obviously, it's pretty clear. You either buy down to 173.74 with a target, at least an initial target up to 181, which then the next target up to 190. Meta, we are at the slow momentum. I would wait for an RDA check. That's what I'd be waiting for on Meta. Nvidia, but if you look on Meta, it's still momentum and bias long. So still look to be kind of a buyer there. We do maybe have a double top possibly that you want to look at. Really what happens around this RDA right around 298 spot 45 is kind of key. Nvidia, let's look at Nvidia. I'm still in Nvidia from way down below where I did my idea. Like I said, the high probability reaction zone. It's about to give up the RDA. Then it's the mix. We've got this whole gap up here down to 307. I'd be surprised if it does fully fill a gap, but you should be prepared for that. At a minimum, I'd be prepared for a mix 200 right around 351. Coin hasn't hit our buy zone again. That's our buy zone right here. We're looking for this little zone here to be buyers again. I do see a potential upside, a pretty decent upside. I think, what is it like? I don't remember what my idea was, but it was a pretty big upside there. Google is momentum and bias long. It is green on the mix 200, so it's strong momentum. It maybe is looking to double top here, maybe pull back a little bit, but it looks like it's going to continue. Amazon's kind of in an interesting area here. It's given up, or it's right at the RDA. If it gives up the RDA, then the key level to watch there, if we go to our favorite time frame here, is right around 125. If it gives that up, you've got a lot of room between here and 102. If it gives up 125, I could see a 102 test, 114 at a minimum. So that's something that I see right away. Microsoft is bias and momentum long on our favorite time frame. On the daily, it is bias and momentum long. It did have a pullback, but it still remained momentum long through that, and bias long. Actually, not momentum long, but it remained bias momentum long. For those alphas, that means just, I'll be doing a more detailed analysis on this, but you should know that what that means is basically the momentum indicator stayed above our bias indicator. So the pullback is still a bias momentum long, but we do have, obviously, the momentum indicators did go momentum short. But if you look at it from what do the momentum indicators tell you, well, they're kind of telling you that they're still above bias. So maybe it still makes sense to be long in that trade, even on this pullback, if there's other factors that play in. Okay, we're currently testing the RDA on chart 4 and the opening range low, giving up, about $2,500 worth of profits there. And I might get knocked out here. Yep, getting knocked out. Well, shucky darns, as they say do they say that in the South? I don't know if they say that in the South. I'm not from the South. Oh, man, that sucks. Got knocked out. Now, the question is, do I want to re-enter? If I do, I want to re-enter probably up here, right around 15,031. We'll look at Bitcoin and then we'll go back to the charts and trade, because we just are heading into the still in 2 lots. Now I'm in 4 lots. I probably had my stops a little tight there, but because that might be an overshoot of the OR and an overshoot of the RDA on chart deuce. But we will see. Let's change this now to trade ovate. Okay. Yeah, you can see. I guess if I wasn't, I mean, I say this, if I wasn't talking, maybe I would have possibly maximized profit, maybe, possibly. Probably not. Changing the window on Discords. All screens. Not screen. Applications. I don't know where my Tradeovate window is. There it is. Duh. Go live. All right. Momentum has shifted. It's now momentum long. Might be an overshoot of bias. Do have to be mindful here that potentially it might want to go up and overshoot the OR low and actually test our bias and momentum indicator, and then maybe sell off. We'll see. Oh, there we are. I did enter, I re-entered. I mean, I added to the position. I'm in 8 lots now. I looked at that as an overshoot. We'll see. I mean, if it hits this level here and holds up at 976, then we know, but it looks like it's going to. Sorry, I'm not showing the chart. I apologize. Wasn't showing the chart for you trading view people. Peeps. Apologize. It's going to hold that level, isn't it? Little jerk. It's going to try to hold that level. It's really going to try. It's going to do it, man. I might cut it short here because I don't know. I mean, I've been trading a while, and like I said, I just got back into trading. I woke up relatively weak. You know, I do treatment week for me is next week. So I do have a treatment week next week. I don't know. I might get another blood transfusion possibly too. Possibly. But that's about all I'll talk about in my health. That'll be the extent that we'll talk about it. Boom. All right. Come on. Sell off, dude. Okay, not only does dudes break that level, like solidly, like with conviction, break this level at 976 with conviction. I mean, the next level really is the chart 4 level, which is 973. Breaks 973 with conviction, then it's probably going to go down to 952. Just needs to do it with conviction. We're up, what, 4,600. I should have probably took some profit there just because it's at the stall area and it's right at the I'm given an opportunity, but it's right at the hour change over here, you know, so we expect increased volatility here. I was hoping for increased volatility to the downside, but it looks like it's to the upside. There we go. That's what we're looking for. Go, Sparky, go. The buyers are being assholes right at this level. Look at that. They're being little assholes. Took some off. some more off. I don't like the way the buyers are actually stepping up like idiots. There we go. Wait. All in all, probably in that whole run, I probably made about, I don't know. Like I said, I don't check my P&L through the day. You guys know that. So, you know, the fact that I do it on stream is different. So I don't know. I'll look at it here in a second. I know when I'm trading bad and I know when I'm not trading bad. I'm looking for another rise up and then a sell off up above. So it might be a little bit frustrating time. So we have a level creation there in chart 3. So that's something to look at. So the question is it going to go up to the next level at 0.56? Or is it going to go and or 0.26? I did reverse there, then I got out right away because I'm like, I'm being a little aggressive. I don't think I should reverse. Should have. Now, okay, that held a previous level. Didn't even test the other level. Kind of tested around an alpha level. Somewhere I'm gonna have to call the bluff here, most likely. I think up above. Ideally, I'd like to enter right around the 0.33 area, kind of the second extreme band on chart 2. But we might look at this here as an overshoot of the RDA and might have to jump on quick. Once again, for those on TradingView, you're not seeing the 4 chart setup. You can go to other places that stream, and I'm not going to mention them because you're watching on TradingView, but there's the 4 chart setup. But I'm trading because TradingView in its infinite wisdom doesn't have tick charts. And even in their latest product update, where they hinted at it a couple days ago or a couple weeks ago or a couple months ago, they hinted at it. Even in their latest product update, they mentioned something called super charts, new drawing tools, anchored volume profile, which is pretty cool. Their alerts is pretty cool. Sync all drawings across all your layouts. That's kind of cool. Updated our channel tools. I don't use that, so I don't really care. Scanners, heat maps, and calendars. Don't really use any of that. Mobile updates for iOS and Android. Web updates. PineScript. I mean, of course, I use PineScript. So new ways traders to share ideas. New brokers and data. I don't see anything on tick charts. They keep saying that they're going to add it. They keep saying it's important to them. They're listening to traders. But, you know, they're not adding tick charts. So I don't know what they're thinking. If TradingView had tick charts, it would be one of the best, hands down. It wouldn't be the best trading platform, but it'd be the best charting platform, hands down, on the planet. Probably in this universe. So I would even call this universe. I would say if TradingView had tick charts, it would be one of the best charting platforms in this universe. So I'd even go that far. I mean, hey, there's a Miss Universe. So obviously we're bold enough to have a Miss Universe. I should be bold enough to say that TradingView could be a charting platform for this universe. All right, it's all about the RDA now, man. It's all about the RDA on chart 2. It's all about the RDA. Or, well, not really. It's also about 474. 474 breaks solidly, then it's ripping down. Jack the Ripper down to 951. Boom. Okay. I don't like the way that the lows are being protected by the buyers. But like I said, it's all about the RDA. the RDA maintains, then the RDA maintains. We're on the bubble of this trade, and adding more to this position here is the right scale in mode, but also I don't like the way that it's setting up. Because it's just not selling off. So I got out. About a $1,100 loss there. I should have took some profit here when it held the level. I mean, it's held it 1, 2, 3 times. So I can always get back in. Like I said before, like I say many times, you can always get back in. There's no shame. And I also, if I'll share this in the room. I mean, look at chart 4. I do not like the way chart 4 looks. Look at that. See that? See on chart 4? Level and then super level. There's like a super level here, and then there's like a level here. So I just do not like the way chart 4 looks. And my position was in the middle of these two levels. So I don't like, a four candle level on chart 4. Yeah. Okay, I don't care about that anymore. I say it's all about the RDA and then I get out, but at the same time, like I said, I just don't like the look in chart 4. Problem is if I go short here, we're missing half the trade. Not half the, no, I guess we're not missing half the trade. That was a slow momentum and a wait. Sorry, opening range low and fast momentum check there on chart 1. I mean, really, this is a no trade zone. Trade the extremes, man. Trade the extremes. Trade the extremes. Be predictive. One thing that a gut check you can always do too is like, whoa, where are my reaction areas here? Like, what are the previous reactions? What have they told me so far? And what are my reaction areas here? My troll went away. He said he's up 200K. I mean, if I'm really into it and I'm showing up, that's like a good week and a half, 2 week for me. Maybe a little bit longer, 3 weeks. Depends on if I'm showing up or not. Part of me wants to go long here. So I'll do a participation trade just because I feel like it. Just because I want to go long. And I need to be in a trade. I'm always in, man. Always in. Ha! As soon as I enter, it goes against me, though. Yeah. Well, you know what? That's the level on that chart 4. God, I'm an idiot. Idiot. Maybe the market will give me an opportunity to get out at break even. Okay, that noise then is people just keep adding or joining Discord. There we go. We're up, man. $40 or not $40. Yeah. $70, $80. Sweet. It's not bad. Coming back after a 3-week break, I think we're going to be up around 26 to 27 grand today. Unless I really screw something up, I guess. And yesterday was right around 19,740. So not a bad couple days coming back into it, especially for my light trading. I don't think I've been in a position greater than 12 lots. So, I haven't seen anything where I want to jump on a 30, jump on a 40 or something. So we'll keep it there. This is a sub account too, because I am still looking at doing the funded account thing. So I need to see if I can trade with the loss limits that they put on there, So I think what you do is you take a 50K account, right? Or 100. I guess I do a 100K account. I got to look at the numbers, and then I got to figure out how to, or I got to put I believe with Trade of 8, you can put drawdowns. And I know I just have never really used it because I never really had to. So I'll mimic the drawdowns that are on these funded accounts. Has anybody done that successfully? Any of the alphas, or has anybody set that up in Trade of 8 to kind of get ready for doing one of those funded accounts? I know there's a couple of people that are doing those things. Or should I just jump in and just do it? That's the other thing. Yeah. I don't know.
Rex, I think for the funded account, the most difficult thing is just a drawdown. Many a times I will, almost pass the challenge, and the drawdown will just, close me out because I wasn't really sure how it worked. But on who you go with, is it doesn't matter if you're, so it doesn't matter if you lose that day. Like, for example, there was this day I was up like $5,000,
Mm-hmm.
and I let it go down, and I took, I was trailing it, and I let it go down to 3,000. So even though I was in profit 3,000 from 5,000, that was still a drawdown. So
Oh, really?
$2,000 drawdown, yeah. So even though I was in profit, he still took it as a drawdown. By my next trade, I just blew my account. I wasn't, not because because I wasn't sure of how it worked, and then I started learning how it works. So it doesn't matter if you make money or not. What they look at is how much money you're leaving on the table. Plus this you lose. So if you lose 1,000 that day, that's a drawdown. If you have 5,000 and you let it go to 4,000, you've lost $4,000. So that's a drawdown, and that's how it's almost impossible to pass that.
Oh, I see.
Pass it, yeah.
So you can't be really aggressive then.
Exactly. So it's been making me take profits super early. Which is not my style of trading, but because I love those runners. Those runners are what really grows my account. I don't have a choice. I just have to play to their rules.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, so
that's why Top Step's a little bit better, Greyhawk, because doesn't Apex, they have a trailing drawdown. I know Top Step just has a set drawdown. It doesn't trail.
Doesn't trail?
Nope.
Okay. I'll try Top Step. Thank you.
Yeah, that's where I was going first. I was going with Top. That's the one I heard the best stuff. The bestest stuff about. So in the technical term of trading. So I heard from all the other ones, that's kind of the one that I heard. Just if you're going to do it, Top Step is kind of where to first start. So Yeah, but mimicking that, trying to mimic that in Tradeovate so that you can at least get prepared for it, I think is the key. What I was trying to figure out, how can I mimic it? That's what I was really trying to figure out. Maybe it's not possible. Maybe it's just too difficult to mimic it. Um,
Hey guys, I
hey,
was listening, but I couldn't speak. I was listening the whole time, almost the whole time, but wasn't able to speak. Um, just on those accounts, because I do a lot of that too, and yes, I would say the big challenge really is once you get a funded account, like Banger, how he ran it up to 37K,
yeah.
7K. The thing is, the trailing drawdown stops on the actual funded account. So only the evaluation has that drawdown.
Oh, I see.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but once
Okay.
you surpass it, that drawdown goes away. I mean, it's just when you withdraw actual money, obviously that's your drawdown. So,
Oh, so when that takes from your account, just like a real account, obviously, that would take from your account.
yeah, but then you buffer, but then you have a floor which if you drop below, then for the account,
Oh,
but you still have like a threshold, but it's not trailing anymore. Um, but I'm curious to see how to trade the set. And I'm going to share something here. The way I look at it is, let's say you have a 300K account, but really has a seven and a half in drawdown. And I just look at it as if you only have seven and a half, you only have 7,500. Really all you have to work with.
yeah.
Any time, even when you run up, you just look at that drawdown as the best of that you have in the account.
Right. That's what I've been
Because
doing
that's
now.
what in a way, that's the risk in a way, right? Like that's the entire amount you're allowed to lose. You're gonna risk all of that on one trade. You're not. So maybe you can if you're still in a really deep limit deal or whatever, but and you know that you're gonna turn around, but you know what I mean. It's yeah, but the other thing I wanted to say, yeah, it does push me all the time to take quick profits. That's why my win rate is insane. Sometimes I have like close to 90, 100% win rate because you just go in and out because if it runs up and then it runs down, even if I'm in profit, then you hit your drawdown and that it forces me like anytime it hits the key level, I should take it, take the profit because you know so that was the big challenge.
Hmm. I guess I gotta, I think you said, Senki, that, didn't make sense. I'm still racking my head why it would make sense for me, but maybe, I mean, it is other people's money. So I guess there's always that argument that if you can use other people's money, but then it's also the tax implications that, that's why I was curious, like how are you taxed on that thing?
I mean, right. Well, if you're, I mean, with the scale that you trade here, you only approved to 20 accounts max.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, you could run it up quite a lot, so it could make sense for you. But the thing is, to pass the evaluations, I think you need to change the strategy to be a bit more, to basically just take the profit when you can. Like these trading
Stops.
stocks that you do, I don't think the trading stocks that you do, I don't think it's going to work for the eval. And we want to run it up. Like let's say you run it up like 100K. I mean, then the sky's the limit. You could do whatever. I mean, as soon as you run, and that's per account. And if you do 20, if you have a limit of 20 accounts, have 20 accounts, each of which is 100K buffer. You can really do some damage.
Yeah. But then, like I said, the tax treatment you're getting on that is definitely not the especially if you're in a company too, the tax treatment you get on futures, especially if you're trading through a company. I won't get into that because I'm not an accountant or an attorney, but
you can sign up as
Oh, okay.
And the money you're getting, this is not considered future. This is contract. So you could sign up as a company, a little tricky.
Yeah.
You have to be careful how you sign up the names and all that stuff. But you could sign up as a company that's going to get a 1099. But the beauty in that is that if your company has expenses, then, you know, like you could just invest all that into hiring people or whatever. I mean, you know how it is. I mean, you
Yeah.
have much more freedom to
I mean, I don't
worry about the tax issue.
I don't go down that road just because number one, I'm not an attorney or an accountant. But I will say this, it is advantageous really early on when you start becoming serious about trading that you look at possibly starting an entity because you're running a business, just like you said, set up properly. You can write off all your fees. You can not write off the cost of doing business, your fees, your subscriptions, you know, and it also it allows you to do, like I said, I don't want to get you can everybody in America should own a business just because if you can find a way to make income through that business, it gives you the most maximum tax flexibility above someone that doesn't have a business. So, and you don't understand it until you actually get in there. I mean, you can look online and go to YouTube and look up benefits of having an LLC or benefits of having an S corp, S corp or corp, whatever.
But I think for trading, there are some benefits to doing Italy that you can never get in an entity, especially with the futures. It's quite quite nice because it's a simple tax return. Um, and
But you have to super document your stuff then as a sole member, as a sole non-entityized, recognized by the state business. You have to then be a hawk. And I don't even think then you could take, let's say you have I don't think you could take the home office expense. Maybe you can. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not, that's why I don't talk about this because, you know, I don't.
yeah, you can. You definitely can.
Yeah.
You can do it. And when you're a company, you also have to do it the hawk. So I mean,
Oh yeah.
it's sports too. But the other thing is the other downside to doing it as a thing. It's not that big of a deal, but then you're getting charged professional fees.
Oh yeah.
Everybody that you're dealing with, all the software that you're getting, they have some of the software has insane fees. Like for example, I remember in Corrective Brokers when we set it up to trade in the LLC, they charged us like $125 for the options data when you're doing it to the individual, it's $5.
Yeah.
Just to see the difference. But the thing is, if you're a big scale, that doesn't really matter.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, it's just rounding errors when you're at a decent scale. And it makes sense. But it also makes, I mean, well, I will say this. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but it's harder to do some tax things if you don't have an entity registered, a proper LLC or a proper S or C, than it is single entity pass through. Because number one, all of your, unless you have a separate account, which at a minimum, that's what I would do. I would have at a minimum, the smart thing to do is have a separate bank account that all of your trading stuff goes through. That way, a separate like checking account. That way, everything in there is associated with trading, and you don't have to go through your personal and earmark things. You just say everything in this account is trading related, so it makes it much easier at the end of the year. You know.
At some point, I was a contractor and doing the sole proprietor thing, like you were saying, and the bank account. I was using Bank of America back then, but they just set up a separate account for me, and they called it my name, and then they added sole prop. So you could actually say this is my sole proprietor.
Yeah.
And I separated my expenses and everything, and it's not that hard to do. You know, like I mean, you are allowed if you have income, you are allowed to deduct from your home like a portion, especially if you have it set up with your office and everything. Your scale probably, like you were saying, is just
Well, specifically, I wasn't able to buy the Beast to pick up my oil. The argument for why I needed a super SUV is I needed to pick up my oil deliveries, my 100 barrels of oil. So that was my argument. So
The regulation on delivering the regulation on delivering oil is actually quite significant.
yeah, I
That's
know.
why oil went negative, because people couldn't just take delivery.
But that was my argument.
They had to wait.
It's in my company notes. I have to have this vehicle in case I ever have to take delivery of soybeans or oil. So we'll see how that holds up against the IRS. No, but yeah. Oh, you know, I've never experienced the sole proprietor. I know it's possible. I just never. I've always been. So I've been an entrepreneur or a consultant, kind of like since I've been out of the military in my early 20s, like 21, 22. So I've always been comfortable with entities and running an entity and having an entity. I've never had a, and I know you can do it really easily because obviously if you're driving Uber, you don't need a company because, like you said, you have all these stupid professional fees. Because the second that you have to do an LLC or anything else, then even if you go to H&R Block, it's just that much more expensive, to do your taxes. So there's obviously got to be a workaround or the single entity that works for solo entrepreneur or sole proprietor, right? I think it's called sole proprietor, right? Where it just passed through. It basically just it's not even I don't even think you have to do you have to do a separate form on your taxes, or is it just a pass through? Maybe it is. I don't know. I have to look into it.
You decided to use it. So, I mean, obviously liability a little bit more liability is there, So, um, I mean, obviously you get margin calls or whatever, but I mean, not like your broker is going to sue you for, taking all that money.
Yeah. I might be in a no trade zone, so I might just need to just get out of this trade for right around, well, not break even, but maybe close to break even. Yeah, right around.
Yeah, it's definitely a no trade zone. Yeah.
I'm up about $1,000. Okay, there we go. Up about $2,000.
I'm still trying to figure out. Like, I was watching you a little bit today. You're switching so quickly on such key moments that I think that's probably the hardest part. One of the parts about trading. You're watching and watching and watching and an opinion, but then you have to be able to like quickly dismiss it and even reverse in some cases.
Yeah, but this was me being stupid. I should have just been selling the RDA and the slow momentum instead of being an idiot and scalping in this zone. So, this always happens when I come back. Like I I just I kind of have this need to always be in a trade. So, like you'll see my P&L, it'll be like I'll make like 10 to 12 grand or maybe 15 or so, 12 to 15, and then I'll churn about 2 to 3 grand, right? And it's just terrible habit. It's just, so I'm making more, but I'm churning. And because I'm good at least when the move happens, being on the right side of the move usually, but it's a terrible way to trade. It's not.
But like right here, like right now, I was also looking at this range and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna take the range here and there. And I was doing okay. And then just now, I think I closed at the break even. And like normally it goes against me quicker than this. I just sit and watch it, and I'm like, what are you doing? And then like, oh, it's gonna come back and test that
Yeah.
low, and I'm gonna exit there, and it's gonna give me a chance to get out. But, you know,
Yeah.
I guess in a way it's very beneficial to us to watch you trade like this because you're now probably a step closer to how we trade. Because for us it's good to see you. Okay, I made a mistake, but you quickly recover from it. So it's missing that.
Yeah.
Well, like right now, all I'm thinking about is I see that level in chart 1, and I'm like, okay, is that level going to hold? If not, then it's going to rip. And I want to be part of that trade if it rips. So at the same time, that level might hold. Huh? Yeah, at the same time, that level might hold, and then it's going to not rip the other direction. So I should have been, like, once again, just selling the RDA up above because I'd be in great profit now. So I'm kind of trading this end of day here aggressively because, I mean, we do have the low and we do have a level in chart 4, right? We have a level right around, what is that, 822? Oh, wait, 922, sorry. 922. So we do have a level at 922, which could hold. So that's something to be mindful of, which is an overshoot of this level, not an overshoot of the low for the day, but an overshoot of the level. Chart 1, yeah. Chart 1's level is right around 953 or so. And then chart 4's level is being tested right now. Well, no, so chart 3's level's already been surpassed, which is 953, but now chart 4's level right now is 932. And I'm going to take some off. I'm going to take one, even though, like I said, it might break, but I expect a level reaction here. And then I'll probably go heavy here on this move up if it moves up. What will frustrate me is if it just continues just to rip down, you know. But now chart 4, I mean, every chart is momentum short and bias short, right? So
some of your reversals were like almost perfect. You got it before there was any sort of confirmation or any sort of even a changeover attempt.
Yeah.
well, what that is I'm decent. I'm getting better at overshoots, and then like an impulse now. Like this would be almost the time to do it, but it's a little early. See, now I'm pissed because now I'm only in 2 lots, and I think like I missed the trade. But it's an overshoot, and then a little bit more, and then just a little bit more. That's the strategy that I'm using for those where just it looks like I do the perfect reversals. It's okay. There's the level or a low, but it's usually a level. There's an overshoot of the level, and there's a little bit more, and then there's one little bit more, and then I reverse. And then that looks like, because then that little bit more is usually where a level 4 is created or a level 2. And it is kind of a little bit of an art because you're catching a falling knife. Right? It doesn't always work, but you're catching a thrown knife or a falling knife. I don't know what a knife going up is, but I guess a thrown knife. So, are axes easier to catch or knives? Probably knives. I would think so. Yeah, axes are much heavier. So, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of power behind an axe. There's not, I mean, I used to throw knives for a while. It's pretty fun.
The knife has a lot less area where you can grab it well, and that you can grab it almost anywhere.
Yeah. I think an axe can knock you down. Yeah, they have a place here, I don't know, about 10, 15 miles away that you can throw axes. I've never done it, but I guess it'd be kind of fun to try, I guess.
So Yeah, otherwise in the last few days, I didn't trade much. Just I have some other stuff that's going on, but it's just there's so many of these times where it pulls back to the M9 and 24 or whatever, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get in here, and it's like clockwork that you get in and you get these big sell-offs. I think it was one yesterday like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, that chart was perfect for an entry, keep going long, and it just, I don't know, by the time I figured out what to do, it was just already all of so much. You gave up all the profit for the day.
Yeah.
So the trade of it is kind of slow sometimes for me, maybe because I'm trading on a laptop, but like,
Sometimes it does. It is. I agree.
yeah, and it's kind of like at these critical moments, that's not what you want to see.
No.
Like it slow down.
And I have super internet. I mean, I have redundant super internet, and it's not the internet, because I have an alarm that goes off, a kind of little bit of a Raspberry Pi with a screen. I should show this sometime. I don't think I can. I can blur out some things, but I have a Raspberry Pi with like a little screen. You can make these which the next Raspberry Pi is coming out, looks pretty cool. But there's another one too. Anyways, that is connected to my network, and then it's doing a couple different tests and a couple different things, and then it flashes or does things when the connection's out or the secondary connection's out, or so. I tinker around with those. If you don't have a Micro Center in your area, you're pretty much, it's one of my favorite stores, but it's like just a raw computer store. I mean, you can go there and basically leave in an evening and build a computer. So it has all the parts necessary to kind of leave and build a computer. So I know they're not everywhere. But
That's something else.
something similar. Yeah.
California has pride electronics, but that's kind of like a lot of things went away though because you get stores like Best Buy that are just taking over. Little shit.
Best Buy is,
I don't know, Best Buy kind of,
they're starting to mix up their offering though. They're doing a lot of like audio equipment, higher end. And then it is kind of nice, I don't know how much, I will say that at Best Buy, going there and shopping with their app, you can buy, like I can buy something, and if I can't get there by time close, there's a locker out front and I can just pick it up from a locker. So I've done that a couple times. So they've actually stepped up their game retail wise as far as offering and made it.
it's still mass consumer. I guess what I was trying to say was that in Best Buy it's hard to find more specialized stuff like back in the days in Radio Shack or whatever.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you're gonna find Raspberry Pi in
I don't even know where else I would find Raspberry Pi, to tell you the truth. Didn't Ty Lopez buy Radio Shack? I thought that was one of the companies he bought to try to refurbish. So yeah, I don't know if you remember that Ty, which is the guy. What I like more than this Ferrari is knowledge. The guy with the books in his garage. So I guess I could do the same thing, because you go to every room of my house and there's knowledge everywhere. So I have books basically strewn throughout my house. So I guess I like knowledge. But yeah, I don't know. You probably maybe didn't see this. Like a couple years ago, they bought these failing brands that people kind of still knew about, like Radio Shack. And what they were going to do is rebrand them for something different. And it was just an utter disaster. They purchased these distressed brand names and just, actually, I think if they would have came back with Radio Shack, I think they would have done I don't know. I haven't looked around what's out there, but I bet they could have came back with something.
with the internet ordering, like I mean, any person who wants to build something custom, you just find your parts online now, right?
Yeah.
And I kind of miss being able to go to a store, be able to see all the stuff, be able to go there within half an hour. And get
No, that's why I love Micro Center. I mean, I spend, no one goes with me when I go there because they know I'm in 5 lots up about 4,200 short, but they know, and if I go there, we're going to be in there for 2 or 3 hours, even though I mean, I'll always buy something, but no one goes with me anymore because they just can't handle being in the store for 2 or 3 hours. So,
Hey, Rex, Jason here. We have an IT firm as we live in rural Washington State, so it's not like we're in Seattle or something.
like Yakima or somewhere like that. Yeah.
We're in Wenatchee, if you
Oh,
know
Wenatchee.
the
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, Wenatchee. Yeah. Puyallup, Wenatchee, Renton. I know that state well. So,
state. Yeah, we're on the side of the state that gets 300 days of sunshine, not that rainy side.
yep.
That's also not green all year round.
Yeah.
So, anyway, we have an IT firm, and but when we made it, 15 years ago, I decided we would also operate a computer repair store. So we stock parts and do all those things. I would love to be able to do a micro center kind of thing, but you've got to have such a large population base to turn your inventory fast enough to make it pay.
Yeah.
That's the issue.
And they gotta be high end tech people too, or higher, so you gotta be near a major metro, that,
Like
yeah.
for us, when I stock inventory, I look at something that's going to have pretty much the same value a year from now. So that doesn't include high-end video cards. It doesn't include current CPUs. It includes power supplies. That's pretty consistent.
Yeah.
A basic video card, I can bet on that because for us, our business clients, hey, I need to run 3 monitors, and so boom, we've got a video card for them. But I'm not stocking the latest NVIDIA GPU because I'll take a bath when 2 months from now it's half the price it was.
Yeah.
So that's the challenge.
No, the amount of SKUs in Micro Center is crazy. When you go in there and from 3D printing to the Raspberry Pi to, I saw one of those driving a $4,500 like Formula One driving steering wheel. $4,500. I'm like, holy crap! Like, you're really into, like,
Wow.
yeah. So
If you said flight controls, I might have an understanding of that.
yeah, it was. And yeah, I'm sure you've seen those flight control videos where people, completely do. You can go crazy there, but yeah, I couldn't imagine with Micro Center the amount of SKUs. So my Beast, the one that I run 6 monitors on, kind of was getting to the tail end, and I just said, you know what? I went to Micro Center, and I built my last 2 computers, and I was like, I almost went home and built it, but I was like, you know what? I don't have the 2 days, and I don't have the patience level anymore. So it was a good experience. I went in there. The dude knew what he was talking about. He didn't BS me like he was a true nerd. We could actually talk about the benefits of the different CPUs, the benefits of the RAM, and the motherboards. And I walked out within an hour and a half, 2 hours of a dual GPU. Works well for streaming, upgradable, and they put it together within a day and a half. So it was a good,
That's pretty sweet.
yeah. Your other option, right, is to go to these extreme PCs or these other places, and it's just something being in the store and tangible. Like, okay, let me get that CPU and let's put it in the cart. There's just something about that is still kind of great.
There's one thing we still do. We do custom machines, and all my competitors in the area, they all rebrand some white label from some other company or sell Dells or whatever. But I'm a little more. I like the art in picking really reliable parts and ensuring that our clients get the best bang for their buck.
It's probably good because you probably get a lot of return customers, a lot of loyal customers. I bet.
Yeah. The downside is, when the computer runs for 8 or 10 years,
Yeah, exactly. So you got to try to get with the people that have 8 to 10 kids or something that can afford to buy everybody a computer. Yeah. So I took some profit off. I'm still in 3 lots. It's stalled. What I'm looking to do is if it comes up above the RDA, I would call the bluff and short it around 0.34. But we're heading into maybe the next hour close. I didn't plan to trade this, but no, that's cool. That's great to know. I mean, so that's something that's during the day that runs, and then you kind of trade around that. Then obviously.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I have a team.
Okay. Yeah.
That gives me some flexibility on if I sit here at my computer and do some trading versus other work, I'm the only one that suffers. So I can make the trade off.
No, that's cool. That's sweet. I didn't know that. I think you mentioned it before, but I wasn't quite sure.
Being West Coast too, it's an early start.
Oh yeah, yeah. That was, I guess I will mention, my nephew's kind of backing away from the group. He'll still be here, but, I don't know how much involved he's going to be. So I wasn't sure. I mean, I don't know why this just came up with you saying that. Oh, because he lives in the area or lives in the state that you're from. So
Yeah, I chatted a little bit about that. Said he was up here, so
so I'm not. I'll share nothing bad. I mean, we're family. I'm still his uncle. But I don't think there's not going to be a continuation like I thought as far as taking over when I demise, when the Infinity Stones eventually take me out. So, I was gonna.
it's gonna be a bit of a disappointment for you.
Yeah, but I think it's the right thing for him. It's the right thing for. I mean, it just was. It's the right thing. So, I was gonna bring it up because I think people would notice because he hasn't been around. Plus, I mean, I've been really sick, so it's been or not. I haven't been really sick. I've just been weak. Where usually I would power through it, and I said this time I'm not going to power through it. I'm going to just sit back, relax, read, write more, do stuff, and not kind of push myself to. And that actually helped because I think if I would have powered through it, I wouldn't have. I mean, if I didn't get the blood transfusion, I would have been in the ER the next day. So just because my numbers were so low for some things that they were, I mean, there's dangerous and there was lower than dangerous. So, just kind of a getting used to this new treatment is really what it is. So that was the reason for kind of my hiatus for the last couple weeks. But it feels good to kind of be back here. And, like I said in the beginning, if anybody was here, it is pretty friggin' amazing. Like you just can't leave your business for 3 weeks. I mean, maybe you can, maybe you're fortunate enough. I couldn't leave my business for 3 weeks.
No, it's too dependent.
Yeah. So, there's very few things you could just leave for 3 weeks and just not show up and then come back and then kind of get back into the swing of things. And trading is that it just hit me yesterday yesterday or today, whatever, maybe this morning. I just was thinking, I came back after 3 weeks and had like a $19,000 day, and maybe today I'll maybe do better. I'm like, there's just nothing else like that. I mean, I know I'm getting kind of high in the sky and all, woo woo with it, but I just think it's amazing. Okay, now we're getting into we got 9 minutes to the close. So the question is, we've got really what do we have on the 5 minute? We could call this a red candle, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 red candles. So part of me, I mean, if you look at chart 3, there's tons of room to the next level, all the way down to 486. There's a huge, isn't there? Yeah, there's a huge gap to the next level. I mean, you could make an argument, huh?
You said 40. Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, 486 on chart 3, or no, sorry, I'm sorry, 686. I need to get glasses.
Okay. Yeah, I was scanning here. That's quite a drop.
Yeah. But 686 on chart 3. So that's quite a drop. I think what I'm setting up for is I'm watching chart 4 and I think I'd short up to 932. That level right around there. I'm going to take some off here. And then yeah. And then look for the end of the day to kind of just rip down. I guess we can look at the daily. I can't wait to go to KFC here. I really can't. I don't know the last time I've been to KFC, but it's been a minute. I don't even know why I have volume on here anymore. All right. So, like I said, on the daily charts, it's really obvious at 720. And then we've got these levels right around 862. So I guess we can make the argument at 862. So I would give it a, which aligns with, doesn't it align with what we said on the chart 3? Sorry. 681. So that's a little bit higher. 862, obviously. 681. 681 aligns with the really strong level, and that aligns with the 4-day level. So if you look at this well, no, not quite. The 4-day level is 855. So 855 might be the zone that you might be looking at. 855. So I'm going to put into consideration 855 because it's my favorite time frame for higher time frames. So I call it our favorite time frame. So sorry, you're adopting it. And then it's the RDA. It's all about the RDA at 598. So we're pretty close to that 4-day level. So need to be open to maybe a fast momentum check and maybe the same type of thing that transpired here, which would be a support and resistance. You know, I see standard support and resistance. So this would be a standard support and resistance move here on chart 1. Sorry, I'm not showing it on this stream, but on chart 1, the standard support and resistance is 976 on chart 1. Does everybody see that? Kind of see what I'm seeing and how I'm seeing that, which aligns with the actual slow momentum and where the RDA might be at if it continues to kind of do this little thing it's doing. You know, Grayak, can you hear me when you're live too, or how does that work? Or can he hear me? Probably not, because I can't hear him. Yeah, because I would assume that if we're both live, then yeah. Well, I guess I should have just entered short. I'm not being aggressive just because I guess I should be, because really the where to be aggressive was up here at 1420 market time when it checked the RDA in slow momentum. Sol is up 8% in 24 hours. SOL. All right, there we go. Now it's just a matter of, okay, are we looking for an RDA overshoot up to possibly 932, which is the first fast momentum? We are heading into the hour close, so I want to give the 5-minute zone on the other side of that, and we're close to pivot 2 here. So pivot 2 is about to happen at 08 after. So if we look up here, I mean, ideally at 08 after or so, we get up to the slow momentum and we get up to the RDA, and that's pivot 2, ideally. That would be what I'd be looking for. There we go, completely out. Where are we? What's up, buddy? You doing all right? Oh, you're guarding me. I've been looking for a guard dog for months. I should maybe trade up to that. So maybe we'll try to trade up to that. This is aggressive trading here, trading up to that zone. So I'm expecting the fast momentum M9 to break, and then I'm expecting the RDA check, and maybe this level. Ideally, this kind of level, this breakdown level, and then that would be. I mean, you could look and say that you got the opening range mid, or is that the low? Sorry, opening range low. Then is right where it's going to fail. So that's what I'm looking for. So like I said, this is aggressive going long here because it is an RDA check and it's a fast momentum check. So I might regret it. We'll see. I'm managing my trades a little bit better than I was earlier. I'm being more predictive. Really, the second I realized I was going to KFC, I realized I gotta start trading better. Because KFC doesn't take Bitcoin. Yeah, I don't think they take Bitcoin. What is Bitcoin at? Let's see what Bitcoin's at. Oh, look at that. Good day for Bitcoin so far. If it closes up here, it's going to the next level possibly, but it's up at 28.73, 28.671. So if it stays up here, maintains this level, that's pretty decent. If we look at the 4-day. 4-day is looking okay. We're at the mixed 200. You know, if it it's a red mixed 200, so we'll see what it is on the daily. It's a red on the daily too, so relatively, you look at this as a weak move. See if the RSIs tell us anything. We've got a red, green. We got a green, red, green. But those are too close together. These ones are too close together. RSIs don't give us any edge, any additional edge. So I'm trading up to the slow momentum in RDA. I'm expecting, we got the hour close here. I'd like to see it impulse up above the RDA on chart 2, take out the M9 on chart 1. I'd like to then see it just continue busting through levels, and then 1, 2, maybe 3 candles up to come up there and test that zone. So that's what I'm looking for. I can change my mind in a second, obviously, if the chart changes. But right now, what I'm trading off of based on what I see here is that we do have a stair step potentially growing here. We have a little mixed signal on chart 2. If you see that, we are still momentum and bias short, but we're trying to change over momentum there. If we have a couple good green candles to get above this level, really right now the key level, if you want to go level to level, is the 915. 915 spot 75 is kind of the key level for. If it comes up, holds that, then it's most likely at least going to go to 926. Go ahead. I like the way chart 4 is looking as far as the long side, because you do have a strong I guess a strong level probably would be at 891. And you have another level that's developed above that. It's recapturing the recapturing the actual momentum, and it's coming up for another momentum check, which doesn't, so the RDA actually aligns with chart 1. So for me, chart 1 is more of a control, but as we do with all of our trades, we use all charts to inform our trades, right? So when it makes sense, if it makes sense. So, and then if we look and see where the actual fast momentum is on chart 3, that's aligning with the RDA and the breakdown candle on chart 1. So we've kind of got multiple reasons to go short right around that 988 level. So we'll just see if it actually transpires or if it doesn't have enough strength to get up there. So I'm trading up to that level at this point, only in 4 lots, so nothing heavy. I don't think I'll go too heavy up here either, just because I think I'm up 26, 27 grand, and I'd like to walk away with that today, or at least a good chunk of that. It'd be nice. Let's see what's going on in the world real quick. See if anything's like got worse. Well, there we go. Now it's a matter of, is it going to pull back far enough? Yeah. So the momentum has shifted on chart 2. It's recaptured price bias. It's looking to recapture momentum bias. So again, it's kind of about waiting. Just waiting. I guess I'll put in some trailing stops. Might as well. These are invalid now. Might as well just protect the position. No reason to lose money on it. Just in 4 lots. Like I said, I'm relatively light trading. Just easing myself into it. So I guess anybody that's listening that's doing the top step, how I'm trading, would it even I'd probably have to trade a lot carefully, I would assume, to get approved, if anybody's still here that was in that conversation. I would assume how I've been trading today is probably a little too aggressive. And I'll ask kind of in the den too, just so I can get, I assume it would be, but I like I said, I haven't even done those things, so I don't know. But that's good to know once you're approved that you can kind of, they relax their, the not standards, but the drawdown specific numbers and how they affect you. I might get knocked out of this trade too, just because look, it's at the fast momentum and I'm doing a fade trade. I mean, it's a fade on just about every market, every chart except for chart 2. So I know that. And I don't have high confidence that it's going to go to the next level. All right, now it's just a matter of Plan still is breakdown candle, RDA up here. 488. Looks like it is. I guess I put my stops a little tight there. We need is a close above the actual momentum indicator here. I think then it's off to the races there. And then it'll just maintain its momentum and bias state on chart 2 up to this zone here. You know, we're about to enter the pivot 2 time frame. For those that don't know or new, pivot 2 is generally in the afternoon. I look for 2 pivots, one about an hour ago and one around this time, between this time and the next 8 minutes, 7 minutes. I generally see a decent pivot in a pivot in the direction that the market moves for the rest of the day, or a sub move in the case of pivot 1. Pivot 1 will go from one direction. So pivot 1 was, where was pivot 1? Pivot 1 was right here, which was exactly the pivot, which is what I should have been doing, which is selling the RDA, selling the momentum. So pivot 1 is right here for TradingView users. That's where pivot 1, right around 0.15. Perfect pivot 1, because what did it do? After that pivot, it went down. I don't know. It went down from basically 5019 or so to 14891, which is 125, negative 125, which is, hey, it's not a bad move. Now, in the next 10 minutes, I'm looking for pivot 2. And pivot 2 for me is more, it looks like it doesn't have the strength, but 1 or 2 alpha candles on chart 2 can change that. So 1 or 2 green alpha candles can change that pretty quickly here, especially if the momentum holds. And then that would then put kind of close, maybe you would see a touch right at the end of pivot 1 or pivot 2, right at the slow momentum or right at the RDA. Doesn't always happen. These are just times of the market that I look for, pivots of the market. That's kind of what I look for. I'm going to get taken out. I mean, it's all in profit. So, $300 here, $300 there. It's not bad, but I'd rather be along for the big ride if it's going to be a bigger ride. And I don't think I'm going to, unless I see a huge opportunity to really, if I see a huge opportunity to make another 20 or 30 grand, then I'll stick around to the close. But if I don't, then I'm just going to call it a day. I don't see that huge opportunity yet because it's not, I mean, in some ways I should have just sold that M9 move there. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy here again just for one more time. I'm just going to do a light buy at this level, just because it still seems like the buyers are somewhat in I won't say control, but they're stepping up a little bit. By the way, if you're watching on YouTube or TradingView, you want to follow on Discord, you'll see a link down below. It says follow on Discord. So definitely join that. It's where you can ask questions. If you want to engage a little bit more, so for those that are not alphas and you want to engage a little bit more on Discord, you can ask to become a Bravo. It's free. Just upgrade your level so that you can engage and talk a little bit more in some of the channels. Like I said, when I officially update the website and say no longer accepting new members, and I'll announce it, but I got more than enough things to do. I got more than enough things that I'm doing that I'm not really focused on doing anything that I'm just not focused on doing anything that I don't need to do right now. there is a lot of treatments that are coming through that are kind of new and that I'm watching that we're starting to communicate with. So I don't think, I guess I could. Can I do that? What happens if I do that? So now that I'm watching Greyhawk stream, what does that mean? Can people on my stream still watch it? Or like,
Yeah, I can see it.
so then can I talk to Greyhawk? I mean, I don't know how this works.
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. And one of these days I'd like to record, or maybe you can go through what your setup is. I'm just interested in all the pretty colors you have. Because I like pretty colors, because it's impossible to trade without pretty colors. That's what I was told by my mentor. My mentor that made it through the 1901 oil crash, the 1908 railroad crash, the 1920, I think, whale oil crash or whatever it is. He told me it's all about pretty colors. No. But no, I just be interested in kind of what your I did catch some of it once, but I wasn't in the right mind to kind of follow it.
It's pretty much your system. I just added EMA ribbon. Just for me, I like to catch the longer moves.
Yeah.
So most of my distance is the 4,000 tick chart. And I use 497 as a setup, and my entry is either the 10 range or the 3 range.
Oh, okay.
Because of the what's it called, the challenge, and
Yeah.
so I can't really scale in, because if I scale in and later change my mind, it just goes against me negatively. So I'm just watching this right now. This is one of the accounts that I'm pretty much sure. What I did was, when they were sale, I bought 10 accounts,
Mm-hmm.
and I went big. And one of them, I had like almost $19,000, $20,000. So I switched from I was trading the NQs. So I switched to a mini so that I could just pass the challenge. Because it doesn't matter how much you make, it all boils down to your drawdown. So I always watch this drawdown every day, and so it's with this setup, it just helps me with my entry. I mean, I don't win all the time, but it helps me with my drawdown too.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Like I said, I like trading the bigger charts because I have more room for it to run.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will look at.
Go ahead.
I always look at the 5 minutes and 1 hour chart, but most of the time, I do my charting on trading view. So I have my trading view on the other screen.
Yeah.
And I use this for my entry.
So then, I should look and see if there's I know there's a different kind of way to stream here. There's I think it's called like a stage or something. I wonder if we could do it where if we're both streaming, it's like on a stage and then people can easily watch. Or I mean, can people that are listening to me stream, can you hear Greyhawk talk?
Yes.
Okay. I'm just curious. I'm just trying to figure out how this all works. So I mean, I could technically watch his stream if I wanted to, and then get like I said, look at the pretty colors. And
Also I have this sticky squeeze too.
oh yeah.
Basically, it helps me if ahead of time if there's going to be a chop.
Yeah.
So immediately know, hey, this area is going to be choppy, so don't fight it, because this is where I usually lose a lot of money, especially when it goes to the RBA.
Yeah.
These red dots, I mean, I get chopped out. Like, so I just added that. So when I see that, I just relax. Let it see, or I might enter the trade depending on the location, but I won't be swinging back and forth,
Hmm.
because I know it's at this area right now from here to here, it's going to be ranging. I'll just wait until it breaks to one side.
Oh, that makes sense. You know, I use a delta. From time to time, I use a delta, kind of a on chart 4. That helps me with that. I don't. The problem is I don't know how to fully. I mean, it's extremes for me. So, and I can see the. Well, this is interesting because I get so on the blue. So you're not in when it's in the blue, basically.
So if I'm shorting,
Yeah.
shorting when the moment. So this is the momentum business. So when it starts turning blue, so I start timing it and shorting it. Once it turns blue, and I go to either the 10 or the this, and I see it rotate.
Yeah.
So this is an EMA ribbon, but it's set to 200.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that once it turns red, I know, okay, this is, so I short it right there.
Oh, I see.
I see the blue, I see it turning, I short it. So it always gives me a perfect entry.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. And then you like to track your P&L through the day? Or do you just have that up because you stream?
I like to track it. Because I'm looking at this into my trading. So I'm lucky today. I made it quite a bit. Yesterday I was at 2,000. I'm sorry, I was left with $2,000 drawdown.
Oh.
But with the profit today, I've been up, so it's not 4,900. So I have
Oh, I see.
my drawdown is 5,000. Yeah. So I keep it, like if I'm losing too much that day and I'm looking at the drawdown, it doesn't make sense, I stop.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So right now I'm looking at a recapture. We got to shift over a momentum on momentum indicators in chart 2, recapture of RDA. The most important level for whether or not it's going to do what I said it should do is at 4023. So that's the most important level of whether or not it's actually going to do and go up and tag the RDA or even the breakdown candle. So far, it's maintaining what it's supposed to do, right? It's holding the RDA. Now so chart 1 is chart 1 there on your screen? Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah. And then chart 2 is chart 2, right? And then chart 3 is above right. And then chart 4 is above left, right? Or below right, sorry. So then you only use these on kind of like chart 1 and chart 2. Okay.
I use mostly chart 2 and 4.
Okay.
But I have everything on just to look at it once in a while. But just because I want to take that extreme and shut it right here, write it down. So that's why I usually lean to the 4,000 chart.
That makes sense.
So I only need one or two of those moves to really, make.
Yeah.
And like I said, that's the challenge for me, because sometimes I catch this move and it's kind of like maybe 1,000 or 2,000. There's some days it will go and it will come right back against me and I lose all that. So it goes against my drawdown and just punishes you for not taking profit.
Yeah, I know. That's one thing. If I'm going to do the top step, I'm going to have to start taking profits. And so, so now it's calling the bluff on the sell-off. That's the question here, I think. Now, so what is your additional indicators down there tell you now? Does it give you any edge or it's just standard? Yeah.
It just
Is that so I guess the other question, go ahead.
before, like I said, I would have been, going long shot rock, but right now I know not to do anything right here because I know this is ranging,
Okay.
and until it takes me out here before I go long.
Okay.
Right here because I know it's ranging. So what happens is these red dots, once it fires it to green,
Mm-hmm.
it goes in this direction, I know it's going down. So I just start trading it down. So the reason I'm still in the trade because I know the momentum is down, even though it's ranging, but it's going down little by little. So by the time it breaks and turns green, it will just push down.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay. So then your ribbon color, or is that from the RDA, or is that from? Well, that's not the RDA, is it?
The ribbon is a regular ribbon. I just like leaving it also. I know everything down here is short. Like I've been shorting this all.
Oh, I see.
Anything if it comes to the RDA, I just short. But
What's that purple green thing? Is that something to do with the other thing?
that's no, that's the RDA 200. I have it
Oh.
it's on the 4,000 tick chart. Yeah. So this is set to 200. Yeah. I short it.
Oh, I
So
see.
sometimes it also helps me if there's an overshoot of RDA.
Yeah.
It goes over the RDA, but if it doesn't, as long as it doesn't go out, I still short it. It's still short.
Oh, I see.
So it takes care of that RDA overshoot.
So now it's I got out at about $1,100 loss. Now it's just I probably should have stayed in. So we'll see. I don't like this fade. Well, I do like the fade. I still see it, but I might be seeing a trade I'm not. So I'm just being a little patient here.
I tried fading this like 3-4 times and it kept
Yeah.
going down. So I was like, okay. So I was like, and I saw this turn. So I was like, okay, let me just stay short at least for until this, I see momentum, increasing.
This will be my last position, and then if it doesn't work out in my favor, then I'll get out because I'm then trying to make a trade that doesn't exist. Got trailing stops. I guess I have to get used to not using trailing stops too. That's one thing if I'm going to go to this top step thing or whatever else, I have to get used to not using trailing stops.
Exactly. Yeah, the trailing. And I was watching some of the videos. They tell you it's not for people that, how do I put it? People that hold on to listen because they have their own software that they sell, like semi-automated software that they want you
Yeah.
to kind of buy. And so that thing is horrible. It's horrible. I tried it and I was like, what the heck?
So it's like to do semi-automated trading in some ways.
Oh my God, it's
Oh.
horrible. Like, no, I can't do that. So in a way that, you're just trying to, I won't say punish you, really trying to like have you buy their automated software if you're not.
Well, they got to make their money somehow, right? They got to make revenue somehow. I mean, you would think that if you got successful traders, and that would make sense for making revenue. I haven't done the math on that too, so I haven't even looked and see what do you like with overhead, everything else. Like, what do you really have to like, because you have to have a couple people on staff at least to have that to really have successful traders. There's got to be some support there, I would assume. I mean, I don't know how many traders are coming with their own system, or I don't know. Like, I really don't know. I mean, that's what'd be interesting to see. It'd be interesting to see behind the scenes of some of these firms, or one of these firms at least. I'm being very patient with this, but I think I'm out because I think I just blew through all my or not all my P&L. I think I blew through like 7,000 of my P&L being an idiot. But we'll see. I'm giving it plenty of opportunity to work out. I'm still in the trade. Just down 170 now, up 70. So, like I said, half of trading is predictive and then conviction, right? So you can get torn up and churn being out of conviction. So I got an opportunity here to kind of get out at break even, which is better than what it was. So maybe I take that. We'll see. I'm not taking it though. So I like the way it moved. I like the way you move, boy. Nope. Guess I'm gonna have to get out. I keep saying that. Oh, it's in that churn moment. It's literally 2 minutes away from figuring out on the 30 close, and I'm kind of in a bad. I'm not in a great entry. So if it would get to a better position for me, then I'd be in a better position to manage the trade. But I'm just in a terrible position. Yeah. So I think I might call it a day. I might see what I have. Maybe there's one more opportunity here. 21, 363, which is not bad for the amount of churn that I did. I mean, it's ugly. It is ugly. I will tell you that much. It's ugly. It's not pretty. I'm not happy with it. I think I'll wait for one more minute and then buy, and then we'll see if that pulls out. I want to see a pullback. I'll buy that pullback on the bluff. And then that's my final fade. If I feel like it. Time is it? One more minute. There it goes. Damn it, Jim. I didn't catch it in time. Yep, it did exactly what I thought it was going to do. Now let's not get too aggressive. Wait for a little pullback. Should have stuck with it because that's what my gut was telling me. But sometimes my gut is wrong. So I don't like, my gut isn't always the determining factor in if I stay with trades. All right. 11. Wait, I need to be in one more. 9, 12, 15. I'll do a fixed stop of 5. I'm definitely aggressively fade trading. So, you know, if you don't have your fade card, you're not doing this. And then, so that's something to keep in mind. Oh, I just popped you out. You got popped out. Now I can see. Now I can really see your screen. That's pretty good. What are you streaming on? 60 or 30? And what resolution?
Resolution 720.
Okay. Yeah, it's very clear. Also, because you're on Apex, you have this little open account thing, and then that's the Apex is where that account is. Oh, I see.
Because I see this momentum is about right there.
Mm-hmm. Are you long too?
So that's how,
Yeah, you're long. Yeah.
So that's how, I usually time my trades.
Oh, I see.
I see momentum shift right there, so I need to get long.
That makes sense.
Just helps me stay in the trade, basically. Like before, I would have just gone blindly. I would just be reversing. And my P&L would just go down to 0.
Yeah, because your reversing was not on anything within the system or logical, or that you could hang your hat on. It was really just kind of more of a gut feel, I would assume. Yeah. So then you kind of then said, okay, well, I probably need an indicator for this that is going to help me. Is probably what you said, right?
That was one of my plans. I even set it up before it was alerts, and then I started using it. So, anyway, I have a stuff. I'm taking out that.
Yeah. Well, now we're kind of, like I said, I'm aggressively fading, which is not a good mode to do unless you're clear on where you want to fade. Now it's about to lose momentum, so I'm quick to maybe pull the plug here just because chart 2 is about to lose momentum and bias, and my entry is okay. I mean, not okay. I mean, it should be lower, but it's decent. All right, I'm just going to bring it up. If I get knocked out, I get knocked out at this point in time. No reason for me to sit and watch it. All right, in profit. I'm hoping it does go up to the RDA, which would be, or at least the breakdown candle of 983, 984. There we go. Up enough for KFC or Popeyes. I don't know which one's more expensive, Popeyes or KFC. I'm not sure. I know Chick-fil-A, they're a lot nicer than Cane's. I will tell you that. I think I've seen stories of Chick-fil-A employees giving people, organs and stuff. I don't know that crazy, but I've seen them do some pretty crazy things. All right, there we go. We're up 50. Doesn't really make up for all the frustration that I went through because I still have to take the profit. So I might not get to capture the profit here. But now I'm putting all my stops in above entry, so I can't technically lose money. So does it matter on this thing how much you trade? Do they say, oh, you trade way too much, or like Apex, or they don't really care?
No, they don't really care because where they get you is a drawdown. So you can trade as much as you want, but if you're not looking at your drawdown,
Yeah.
that's where it gets you.
Oh, so you can be a super scalper if you want to, but you have to look at your drawdown. Oh, which I'm not built for being super scalper anymore, but
sometimes I'll be trading and I'll just completely forget. Just keep trading and I'll be in profit. And I'm like, oh yeah, it's gonna keep going down. And then a news comes up and it just reverses really quickly against me. Yeah. And I take some profit, partial profit, and then I look at the drawdown like, oh my God.
But why would the drawdown, if you took profit, why would it be in drawdown? Is that because it moved quick on the drawdown, or?
No, that's their rules. That's it. They call it a daily, what do you call it? A trading daily active. I don't know, but I had to go to their website and watch their video, and I was like, oh, this is what they mean. It's like they punish you for leaving money on the table, basically.
Oh.
Yeah.
Which is kind of annoying because sometimes you have to let a trade work out, right? Sometimes. I mean, not always, but sometimes you do have to let a trade. Like here, I mean, I've had to let this trade. I was up $4,500 and I didn't take because I'm basically my stop losses are below our indicators, or below our momentum RDA and everything. So now, so I'm bouncing between this 4,500 and this 2,800, profit. So that's not good in their eyes, is what you're basically saying.
No, that's not good, especially if you end up taking the 2,800 profit and so whatever difference. So that's a drawdown.
Oh, so they'll track that and said you should have took the 4,500, which is asinine because okay, well, I mean, then well, I mean, I guess if you took the majority of your trade off at a kind of a reaction zone, then that kind of makes sense. And then, but does it even hurt you for trailing if you have a trailer in there, or?
Yeah, it still does.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you trail. how much you're leaving on the table.
Oh, well, that's
So even if you're up 4,000 or 5,000 and you let it come all the way and stop you out,
mhm.
and you're now in profit 1,000, so that 4,000, even though you're in profit 1,000, that's a loss for them. That 4,000 is a loss.
Oh, well, I never did like the man. So
Yeah, Top Step doesn't do that. It's just
okay,
based on what you start the day with. So as long as you don't go below $3,000 on the day or whatever, then you're good.
Top Stamp sounds like they actually are on the side of the little man, not the
Yeah, so
man.
there's only one rule in Top Step, and that's just don't go below your daily loss or weekly loss or whatever.
That makes the most sense to me. Which is like, hey, here's your loss. Don't go below it. Other than that, the proof is in. I mean, you can look at some statistics and say, okay, this person is a risky trader, and eventually this trading style probably is not going to do well. But if it consistently does and it doesn't hit that loss limit, what can you really say, right? I mean, it's like that's the parameters. So interesting. I guess I just have to do it and stop talking about it. That way I can know for sure firsthand, because it's like it's one thing to kind of talk about it and wrap your head around it. But I think it's another thing to probably get in there, pay the fee, set it up, go through all that. You know, I'm sure for me, it's not going to be it's going to be like me setting up my printer yesterday. It's going to take 45 minutes longer than it should. You know, like they don't even have an Ethernet friggin' cable on this printer, which is annoying. All right, I'm getting knocked out of this trade, so I should have maximized some of the profits. Yeah, it's too late in the session. Not worth it. P&L 23 for 22. Not bad. I'm gonna call it a day too. I traded much longer than I thought I was, but it was nice to be around everybody. I think it's 23 for 22. Let me see. Yeah, I mean, part of me almost wants to short this, but I'm done for the day. So anybody have any questions before we go, or like if you don't, that's fine. I think I'm just gonna call it a day, and I might be around tomorrow. We'll see. I highly, highly, highly doubt I'm gonna trade the close tomorrow, but I might be around in the morning. I probably will be around in the morning. So everybody have a great trading day. Once again, alphas, what I would, what I'm looking for from you guys is just sharing the den strategies or specific ideas or models that you think would work best for helping you break through or get through the next level. Because I feel like me streaming is good and you can ask questions on the fly, but also I'm just curious, like I guess I'm more curious, like what is the hang up for some people, and what's the point solution that we can look at for that hang up. That's what I'm thinking about. I'm more thinking about, okay, well, a stream doesn't necessarily get there, right? So if you have any ideas or thoughts on that, please share it in the den, and we'll continue to talk about it. So it's not like we're just going to stop talking about it. So, and if you're not following in Discord, this is kind of one of the few chances, the last chances that I probably will kind of stream publicly, I think, because I'm going to be focused on the alphas and getting them to the next level. So I'm not going to be focusing so much on the public side and probably even close down memberships. So it's kind of the last time to kind of join. I don't know if I'll fully shut down Discord. Maybe. I don't know. I only really care about the alphas at this point in time. So not that I don't care about the other people, but the alphas are the ones that have stepped up and self-selected themselves and said that I believe in this system. I want to adopt it as my own. So those are the people that I need to be there and support. So that's what I'm going to do. That's my focus. That's the right thing to do. So that's what I'm going to do. So everybody have a great rest of the day. Greyhawk, thanks for the conversation. Everybody else, thanks for the conversation. And I look forward to seeing everybody here in the next day or so, or tomorrow. So sweet.
Thank you, Rex.
Yeah.
It was awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I do think that the sell off is probably the opportunity. You probably should have sold that there when the momentum and bias shifted. But that's the problem when you just kind of sit there and you keep the chart open, right? It's like I didn't want to shut down the chart and not shut down the